Good evening. Welcome to the Glazov gang. Tonight, our tough and streetwise and intellectual gang members are Leon Weinstein, the author of Capitalism 101.
Hello.
Shari Goodman. She is the chapter leader of Calabasas-West Valley for Act for America, right? And there's a couple things here in the introduction. Shari, tell me if I'm right or wrong. You're also a former actress?
I'm a woman of many trades.
Okay, former actress, also a school teacher?
Yes.
Social worker?
Correct.
And a fellow Leo with me. We're born on the same day?
Same day, August 19th.
Right? Should we just spend the whole time talking about the Leo sign, or we'll move on?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. And what an honor and privilege to have with us Jim Horn, the author of the book Experiencing Islam. He is a former American diplomat who spent 25 years abroad serving this country, 10 years in Islamic nations. Am I correct?
That's correct.
So he has quite a bit of experience, and he has come to tell us this evening about many things that he knows, and he has some dire warnings for us if we don't straighten up as a nation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program. Last night, Obama, I think it would be fair to say, got a beat down by Romney. I was very surprised at how poorly Obama did. What is your reading of the debate and the fallout of it? Let us start with you, Shari.
Well, he didn't have a teleprompter, and he's used to reading lines. Well, there was no one there to write the lines for him. I think when you're an empty suit and you lack substance, it's very difficult to debate a man with substance, and Romney clearly has the values and the knowledge, the know-how, and that came across last night.
Shari, if it was the metaphor of a soccer game or a hockey game, like 10-2, 5-4, what would you score the debate last night?
I think it probably was about a 7 for Romney and 3 for Obama.
A 7-3?
Yes, Obama looked very uncomfortable. He smirked, which does not make him very likable. Smirking in front of the camera is not a good thing to do. And he was looking down all the time. Mm-hmm. He didn't seem engaged.
Yeah.
Romney looked at Obama and was almost as if saying, look at me, engage me. But he was looking down at the floor. And I'm wondering if he was not feeling shame. Shame because he knows what he is. He knows what he lacks. If you're not the real thing, I think maybe he felt ill at ease because subconsciously he knew he was not prepared.
Shari, with all the things we introduced you with, you could have also been a psychologist. Because this is a very profound psychological reading.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Jim Horn, Shari is saying that somewhere subconsciously he may be ashamed. He doesn't have the facts. He's used to reading off of a teleprompter. I agree with all that. Yeah. I think there's also something to be said for this is a self-appointed God, an earthly God, a redeemer, a self-appointed social redeemer, and he's used to having a lot of disciples clapping for him in awe, and he just engages in demagoguery. Yeah. So this is a playing field that he's not comfortable in.
He was not comfortable.
Well, how did you read it?
He was not comfortable in the playing field. He fell on his face. He was not prepared, but his limited knowledge and understanding of things left him unprepared. You can't be prepared when you're that ignorant. That's the way I look at it. I was watching very closely, and there were a couple backside shots of the guys when they're up at the podium, and he was up there, hip shot, one leg up, looked like he was ready to bolt away from there. He just did not want to be there, and that was clear in his body language. That was clear in his looking around desperately for an out, for an exit. He was just not happy up there, and that made him falter even more.
Yes, there was also that he looked like he was bored, and that he just did not want to be there.
He was out of his depth.
Yeah, and that he just wanted to get it over with.
He wanted to get it over with. He wanted to get the heck out of there. And that was his body language. That was his character.
But it's a bit mind-boggling in the sense that I guess they're just completely ill-prepared, right?
He was ill-prepared. He had memorized a few lines, and he kept going back to Romney about his $5 billion tax cut or something like that, or tax increase. And Romney explained what it was, and then Obama turned around and went back again, and Romney explained it again, and then Obama went back a third time, and Romney explained it again. I thought he was getting ready to say, "Hey, I told you 3 times. Don't you get the message yet?"
Jim, Shari scored it 7-3 Romney. What did you score it as the judge?
I'd score probably about a 7.5 to 2.
That's almost a knockout.
Yeah, that was a knockout. I mean, Obama got hurt yesterday. He got spanked.
Leon, your reading of the debate last night and your own thoughts about it.
First of all, the general feel was the seasoned and very successful and very knowledgeable CEO of a company talking to a freshman student. But, it's not a surprise. It's a surprise how it played out, but it's not a surprise if we'll think about it. Because 4 years ago, we hired a person whom I wouldn't hire to run my company, although it's only, 5-people company, because he doesn't have any experience in anything, in managing even a small, group of students to sing in a chorus. He doesn't know what does it mean to meet payroll. He doesn't know what does it mean marketing goals. He doesn't know anything. He thought that by the virtue of him being ex-Muslim, or maybe Muslim, I have no idea, and becoming president of CEO, the whole Muslim world now will melt down and will say hallelujah. He thought that the moment that he will, become the president, suddenly the oceans will go down and the climate will not stop warming, although I'm not sure it's warming, it's cooling right now. So we got a totally inexperienced amateur as a president, and the hope was that he at least would learn on the job. But he spent it by going to View, by going to different TV programs, by golfing, by promoting himself, by talking about his probably lovely for him wife, and not learning on a job even. Even Clinton's told us that he would have to learn on the job, but they made a mistake. He didn't do even that.
Thank you.
Yeah, he was arrogant.
Yeah. Arrogant, and because of that arrogance, got a very hard punch to the jaw from Romney. Let me ask this. I'm also surprised at the left's fury, the honesty of its fury. You heard Andrew Sullivan on his blog saying it was a disaster. Bill Maher was saying he needs a teleprompter, as you said. The Nation magazine had criticism. What do you, and MSNBC was going crazy as well. I think Chris Matthews threw a temper tantrum. Your reading of the left's furious reaction to their secular deity?
I think they're embarrassed. This is their man.
Yeah.
And I think Axelrod tried to spin it, but it was very difficult to spin. So what were they left with? They were left with an embarrassing situation. This is a man that they backed. Bill Maher gave him $1 million. It's $1 million wasted.
Yeah.
There was no way to get around it.
Right.
It was almost impossible to spin.
And to deny it.
And to deny it. So they had to come clean, and some of it was brushed on Romney. It was basically, they're saying, well, Romney took advantage of the time. He controlled the moderator.
Yeah.
And as opposed to really finding fault with Obama, they're finding fault with Obama's poor performance. What I'm not hearing is that perhaps, maybe, this man is not qualified for the job.
Right. Wait 1 second, Leon, I ignored something. What was the score you gave that debate?
I believe that Obama scored 1, and I believe that Romney scored 7.
7? Okay. Jim, your reading of the left's reaction and how angry it was, but also honest in its admission that Obama had faltered.
The left is saying, my God, we spent the last 3.5, 4.5, 5 years supporting this guy with everything we can do for him, and he's turned into a great big bozo stumbling around out there on the stage. He's just a real bozo. And they're really disappointed in him. They're disappointed in themselves for what they've gone to support him and all that stuff. And he's just letting everybody down. He's disappointed himself. He's disappointed his supporters on the left, and some of them are rightfully angry.
Yeah, he's going to have to come back very strong. Your reading of the left's reaction, Leon?
First of all, I have to say two words: Kerry, Senator Kerry, and future spin. So let me explain myself. Senator Kerry is a person who, when he lost to Bush, he said at the open mic how this idiot could win, or how could we lose to this idiot, right? So his view on Republicans and on the platform of the Republican Party, very simple. They're idiots and they have idiotic ideas. So I believe that he is the core in the problem of what happened to Obama. Because when he was playing Romney with Obama, preparing for debates, he probably, my guess is, was giving his ideas of how stupid Romney is.
His attitude.
And then a real man was standing there with real facts and real ideas. Now the second part is...
One second. In other words, preparing a person to fight Mike Tyson, they put in Pee Wee Herman.
Something like that. Very good analogy. Yeah, absolutely.
You guys like that? Jim,
I like that. I
See,
like
he
that.
thinks I'm funny.
Who,
Okay.
not only Pee Wee Herman, who kind of fighting with Obama was punching himself instead of punching Obama.
Right. Okay. So very bad coach.
Yeah. The second thing is a spin. Spin, you will see how tomorrow, starting morning, or maybe Monday, they will start talking about this debate just opposite things of what they were saying today.
Well, they're already doing
and they
that
will
today.
start, they will start trying to spin the situation totally different way.
Okay, thank you. And that's my next question. Here's the thing. So the left is angry, but there was something very interesting today. I looked at the New York Times. Okay, yeah, they kind of had this one lead story, kind of, sort of. But in the other areas of that front page, and you look at the other mainstream media, newspapers, etc., they're not even talking about it. They're spinning, they're scrambling, they're criticizing Romney, they're going everywhere else. Tell us, our viewers, a little bit about your view of how, although they've admitted the defeat, how shameless our media is in a lot of ways and how it's scrambling at the moment.
Yeah, well, I've said many a time that there is no free media. The mainstream media is an elitist media that is really an arm of the Democratic Party. I truly believe that. And I think it was Pat Condell that recently came out and actually stated that the media, the mainstream media, has become an enemy of the people right now because they are complicit with
Absolutely.
the White House.
Well, even Axelrod today, the Obama team, was asking the media to help do what Obama failed to do last night.
Yes, and we as a society, as a free society, we cannot remain a free society if we do not have a free press. So I urge all Americans to look for alternative sources of information.
Like the Glazov gang?
Exactly.
Front Page Magazine.
Front Page Magazine. The internet is a great source. So,
Jim?
There are a lot of great sources for information, and it's no longer the printed press, which is now no longer a free press. It's owned and controlled by the progressives, and it started with the newspaper reporters getting progressive educations in university, and they've carried this misinformation or this misunderstanding of what the responsibility to the world is with them from the university as they've gone into the media business, and they're just progressives. They're pushing the progressive agenda, and some of them are so brainwashed with it they don't really know what they're doing consciously. They just, oh yeah, well, this is what I have to do. You know, and it's an unconscious thing because it's been inured in their brains from early on in their educations in high school and in the university and college and all the way on up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we only have 3 minutes left in this segment. Please, very brief answers. I want to do 2 very quick rounds. This round, Leon, what are the consequences of this debate in terms of influencing the election? Is it going to matter?
I think it will.
And I ask that in the sense that what I think and what I want are 2 different things. I'm pessimistic in the sense that I think Obama will win. I think it'll be a disaster for the country. But would this election make any difference?
Would this debate?
Excuse me. Would the debate make any difference?
Election will make.
I apologize.
I think yes, if it's a beginning of something that we will see in Romney campaign and Romney, and if 7 days from now, I believe, we will see the same line of attack from our potential vice president.
Right.
And if Romney will continue, and if ads will run in the swing states, that will confirm what people saw for the first time in their life, a real person.
Okay. Shari?
I believe it will have an effect, and actually Frank Luntz, who's the pollster on Hannity's show, did a quick sample after the debate, and it showed that the majority of the people that were there voted for Obama in 2008, and when he asked, will you vote for Obama again, the majority of them were going to switch their vote after this debate for Romney. So this is a sample. It's indicative of what is to come. But then, of course, we've got a few other debates ahead, and that will have an effect as well.
But what I'm wondering is this foreign policy disaster catastrophe of Barack Obama in terms of handing the Muslim Brotherhood over to the Middle East. Excuse me, in terms of of handing the Middle East over to the Muslim Brotherhood. Romney's really got to go at him about that, and if he does, it's going to be another beatdown.
We also, let me just quickly add, we also have to remember that 20% of this country is liberals, 40% are conservatives, Republicans, the other 40% are independents. The independents in the last election went with an unknown. This time Obama has a record, and that record will hurt him.
Okay, thank you. And final words go to you very briefly, please.
I think a lot of the people that voted for him 4 years ago, they're saying, well, I don't know if I can vote for this Romney guy, but I sure can't vote for that bozo, so they're going to stay home. I suspect there's going to be a large number of them staying home. There are others who are in between who voted for Obama and maybe wondered about it. They had the cognitive ability to say, okay, I made a mistake and I'm going to switch over here because I don't like making mistakes.
Thank you very much. We're come to the first of our first segment. In our second segment, we're going to be discussing the threat of jihad to the West, to the United States. We're going to be using as our hook for that segment Jim Horn's book, Experiencing Islam. Everybody's got to get this. It was censored by the CIA, actually, Experiencing Islam. And because I have a little bit of a Don King in me, I can never miss this opportunity. My own new book, High Noon for America, The Coming Showdown. If you want to arm yourself with the knowledge of how to fight for our nation and our Western civilization, get this book. We'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.